AustraliaFreeClassifieds.com, the latest addition to the Australian Puppy Scams Hall of Shame as of October 2014. This site is one of the, unfortunately, all too common, really bad sites in Australia that are just loaded with fake ads. In fact, every single ad we've been able to find on this site is fake. This is one of these MFA sites called Made for AdSense. What they do is that they get people in and hope that they'll click on some of these Google AdSense ads here to make money for the site. The site advertises on Google AdWords to draw people in with the hope that they'll then get a return on their spend. So they don't care about the advertisers or the ads, it's just volume they're working on. So of course this site pretends to be in Australia, but our research indicates it's from a non-English speaking country. Anyway, you'll see here, this is one of the latest tactics that the scammers use. Well, just click on one of these ads. Previously, they would use a cheap price to draw people in. Now they're using a different tactic. They're either using no price at all, as in this sort of ad on AustraliaFreeClassifieds.com. You'll see there's no price listed here. Or they'll advertise a price which is not too cheap, and yet cheap enough to draw people in. For example, British Bulldogs, which will often go for $3,500 to $4,000 in Australia, a legitimate puppy that is, such as those advertised on Pups for Sale, they'll be advertised for $2,000. We've seen some recently, English Bulldogs, French Bulldogs, Boston Terriers. Still fake ads, but expensive enough for people not to be immediately suspicious, but cheap enough for people to think they might be getting a bargain, hence to draw people in. So anyway, that's some of the latest tactics that the scammers are using. Another one that they do, as you'll see on this site, you think, why are they doing the same ad time and time again? You'll see 18 minutes ago, 19 minutes ago, and so on. They're trying to saturate the market so that when people search for a British Bulldog, for example, in a given area, this one here is in Sunshine Coast. They search on Google for British Bulldog Sunshine Coast. This site is hoping that their search results come up for British Bulldogs in that area, or the fake advertiser is anyway. So they're trying to cover as many bases with as many regions as they can. So each of these ads will be in a different region, hoping that a Google search result will throw their ad up and they'll be able to then run their scams. But the only way they'll rank in the Google search results is if this site itself, AustraliaFreeClassifieds.com, is actually ranking as well. So if you see it around anywhere on the net, AustraliaFreeClassifieds.com, just be aware that every single one of the ads on this site are fake. You'll see there different photos of the British Bulldogs, even got monkeys in Australia. Well, good luck with that. Pomeranians for adoption. There's so many keywords that we've talked about that are flags to scams. We've talked about them in previous videos, but the point is that this site itself is a completely overrun by scams, and you cannot trust any ad on it whatsoever. Obviously, they don't check their advertisers, or else they'd have no ads. If in doubt, just contact us at admin@Pups for Sale, and we'll be only too glad to help you out. And this latest addition to the Puppy Scams Hall of Shame will be listed with its fellow travellers on our Scam Stopper page to be accessed by clicking that link on any page on our site. Gives you the full rundown, including some recent comments by the police on the subject. Stay safe, folks. Stay away from the sites that host the fake puppy ads. Stick to Pups for Sale and you'll be just fine. This is another tip from the team at pupsforsale.com.au.